Hi, beautiful families at home. Today I'm sending home a packet of materials. You may use them as you wish at your house. The most important thing is that your child is practicing a little bit each day, if possible. It doesn't have to be a long period of time. That just quick review will help solidify some of the things that we've been working on at home. With the holiday season coming up, maybe you'll have a little extra time to do more than that, but really I'm asking for 5 to 10 minutes a day at most. The first thing I'm sending home is a letter drill. I have another video explaining how to say the keywords and the sounds. So you can watch that video, A, apple, A, as an example. You can also make card decks of matching cards, so doubling the A's, doubling the B's, and play something like a Go Fish. The kids love that game. We play that here. When the child asks for a letter from their opponent, they say something like this: M, do you have an M, And that's practicing both the letter name and the letter sound, and then they can see if the opponent has a match. There's also other games out there for alphabet learning. I just want to make sure that we're practicing the letter name and the letter sound and that we're making those sounds correct. The other thing that I'm going to send home are these snap words. These are words that we have to memorize after looking very careful at the orthographic mapping of the word, because sometimes these words don't make a typical sound. For example, the O has a heart and the F has a heart because O says and the F says a V sound, so it's of. So it's not a typical sound, so we have to memorize those. And one of the things that children can do to solidify that is by tracing O, F, of. I've also sent another video of crossing the midline, which also makes brain connections. O, F, of. That's really good for kids to use those large motor skills and cross their body to make those connections for their brain. So this I will send home as well. You can make memory games out of them if you want to, or Go Fish games, or whatever, or just use them as flashcards in practice. They are pretty hard for the kids. The other thing that we need to do is practice blending. So once your child, if you feel like they really know all their letter names and their letter sounds, and you feel confident that they're ready to move on, and some of the first grade students are, and we have worked on this at school, we practice tapping the sounds, un, run. The other thing they could do is tap on their finger, un, run. The other thing I've taught the children is to tap like this, un, run. Some of the kids like using more motor skills, which makes connections, or they can just simply tap, un, run. After a while of practicing these, they should be able to blend quickly, run, without tapping. So that's our goal here. If your child gets stuck, some of the children are going un, and they get mixed up. They start at the end, they don't know where to begin. You can cue them and say and help them stretch it out. If your child likes cars, you can get a car and have it go across and really sweep across that word and get that word. So there's a big, huge deck. You don't have to do all of these all of the time. The other thing you can do with these, you could just pick maybe 5 one day and read the word run and see if they can write it down on their whiteboard or on a piece of paper. So that encoding, which is the written word, is really good practice for solidifying the sound and the letter name as well. Handwriting is really important for making brain connections, so that's important too. Always have this nearby when they're reading or spelling, so they have a reference sheet to cross-check if they get stuck. They can't remember, let's say, what the R sound makes. They can look here, or you can supply them with the keyword and tell them the keyword is rat, and that might trigger their memory for that sound. So this is really good for both reading time and writing time, to have this nearby to make sure that they can make those connections. The other thing I'm sending home is a student notebook that we've been working on in class. You will see in here that the students have all of the same thing as the cards. Please make sure your child starts at the top and has a nice even flow to the writing. We trace this in our class and we go through all of the pages. Q, U, queen, qua. Q, U, queen, qua. Again, solidifying it into the brain with that kinesthetic and multisensory movement. The other thing is later on it gets into the capital letters, and we have started some of these pages. We start at the skyline for the big G, go down to the grass line, and cross it here at the midline where the plane is. So you can just really watch them, make sure they're doing correct. Some of the students are sort of chopping it up a little bit into bits and pieces. We want to make sure that we've got a nice even flow to making those letters and not adding little lines in between. So please watch that carefully as your child is at home with you. Lastly, some students will be ready for the sum soon. Some of your children might need to wait a little longer. This is a reading book. It gives you the key words of the sentence, including a snap word, which is the, and then a shorter sentence down here, and then some basic comprehension questions, just getting them to make sure that reading is also meaning, even though they're simple words. You can go through this book, practice reading, and it's going to bring in this skill of blending. Like I said, some of the students are not going to be ready for that reading packet just yet, but hold on to it. Hopefully by the end of December, beginning of January, they are ready to fly with their reading. Please reach out anytime with questions. If you hit a little bump in the road and need some support or you're not sure what to do, just give me an email and we'll connect. Thank you so much for your support at home. I love all of the kids, and I know we're going to see great progress over the next few months. Thank you.